San Francisco Muni bus drivers are saying their names are being dragged through the mud. Find out why and what they're doing about it. Now, the president's goal for our country is to have the highest proportion of college graduates in the world. But by all accounts, it looks like things are going to get a little harder before they get easier. Wait till you see this. After stealing a home computer and other things last night, an alleged burglar posted his picture on his 15-year-old victim's Facebook account. Of course, their ultimate goal is to rebuild defenestration as a permanent structure. For now, they're looking for donations, volunteers, and sponsors. If you'd like to help, you can log on to defenestration.org. Throughout the city, Mayor Gavin Newsom's Pavement to Parks program is being hailed as a huge success. First there were corks, and then came screw caps. Find out Napa's latest method of distributing wine. First there were wine bottles with traditional corks, and then came screw caps. But what happens when sustainability issues and the economy collide with wine drinking tradition? Well, you get wine on tap. Green wine, as some folks are calling it, is making its presence at top restaurants around the city. Andrew Generalo is the general manager of Lamar, a world-famous Peruvian restaurant on San Francisco's Embarcadero.
We're sort of breaking a little bit of the stigma about where the wine on tap system has been and sort of now taking it to the next level.
Eliminating the manufacture of glass bottles directly impacts the environment. This also creates a dramatic decrease in the weight of shipping the wine, preserving fuel and sparing the air. These savings mean good wine at a consumer-friendly price. Bar manager Enrique Sanchez believes the initial reaction will be one of curiosity.
Like wine from the top, so weird. But it is. I mean, to give it a try, it's going to be in a perfect temperature that the wine's supposed to be drink at.
Ironically, all of our wines are coming from Napa, so it's quality fruit, and we're using varietals such as Albarino, Malbec, and then the Sauvignon Blanc.
Waitress Melissa Albert believes wines on tap have a place in the industry.
When guests receive a wine on tap, I think they'll be really excited. We're maintaining the quality of the wine while protecting the environment. So I think customers will love that. So if you're trying to save the planet or just save a buck, next time you go out and dine, you might want to ask management if they're serving sustainable wines on tap. In San Francisco, Tobias Medina reporting.
What you're doing is despicable and an outrage to pit the drivers against the people of San Francisco. How dare you?
San Francisco Muni bus drivers are outraged. They're accusing Muni of using them as scapegoats for the agency's budget crisis. The Transit Workers Union is on a crusade to stop Muni from making them out as the public's bad guys.
There's never articles that deal with operators doing a good job, helping seniors out, and just doing what they do every day as part of their job. It's always got to be negative.
San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency is looking at a current shortfall of $16.1 million. MTA is also forecasting a deficit of over $110 million for the next 2 fiscal years. The Transit Workers Union is saying mismanagement of the budget, not the workers' salaries, is to blame, and that Muni should be looking at things such as top executive salaries and $65 million worth of costly work orders to trim the budget. Muni operators feel their names have been dragged through the mud as a cover-up to the real problems that Muni is facing. With an overall budget of well over $250 million, Muni operators are saying it is unfair to scrutinize their salaries. The union says Muni operators are hard-working employees who have been demonized for following the rules set up by their management. While some doors are closing, others are opening, at least enough for San Francisco Muni bus drivers to tell their side of the budget crisis. In San Francisco, I'm Tobias Medina with State of Events. The governor may not be hearing the student protests outside his front door in Sacramento, but the powers that be in Washington, D.C. are listening loud and clear. The recent passage of the federal education reform bill can't come soon enough to help students during these difficult times.
A lot of students are having difficulty, but they're still managing. But I know a lot of people who are at the breaking point, and if it gets any worse, then they're going to have to reconsider finishing college.
The president is saying the education reform bill will address these needs.
Year after year, we've seen billions of taxpayer dollars handed out as subsidies to bankers and middlemen who handle federal student loans, when that money should have gone to advancing the dreams of our students and working families.
By taking over federal student loans from commercial banks, the federal government will be saving $68 billion. I spoke with Jimmy Wilder, the Assistant Director of Financial Aid at San Francisco State University. He feels the federal government has made a move in the right direction.
However, looking on the long run, at the end result, it's going to be a very positive thing.
But what exactly will the federal financial aid overhaul do for struggling college students? A large infusion of money will be going to the Pell Grant program. Community colleges will receive more funding, as well as minority colleges. Lower student loan payments are also in the works.
Now, the president's goal for our country is to have the highest proportion of college graduates in the world. But by all accounts, it looks like things are going to get a little harder before they get easier. The federal student aid overhaul is not going to come into effect until the year 2014. In San Francisco, Tobias Medina reporting.